Hi there, guys, and welcome to the last episode of the Healing Chronic Illness Summit. And today I'm going to share my story with you. So let's get started. For me, it all started back in 2014. I had some issues before where I was always looking for a better diet, healthier diet, and I already ate pretty clean before 2014. I didn't eat a lot of meat, pretty much, well, maybe just once in a week or so, and just something like turkey or chicken, and not the pork or beef. Never really ate that. And yeah, in 2014, because of my digestive issues, my doctor sent me to another doctor, and she did a lactose intolerance test and a fructose test. And the fructose test was first, and that came back normal, so no fructose intolerance. Thank God. That would have kept me away from eating more fruits. And yeah, the lactose test went positive, and I got a diagnosis that I'm lactose intolerant. So yeah, you got to know that I really, really loved eating yogurt. It was my favorite thing to eat. That's what I usually ate for breakfast, and a lot of yogurt also for dinner. Yeah, especially during my college time, university time, I ate 500 grams, a pint of yogurt every night. And yeah, and the next morning I had just a small cup with some oil because I thought it was healthy. But now I know eating fat in the morning, and especially oil, is not very beneficial at all. Yeah. But yeah, with that, I was kind of looking for alternatives for yogurt and milk, because it never made sense to me to eat some kind of pill that I can eat lactose products. And that led me to making my own cashew yogurt or coconut yogurt. But I didn't really like it that much. So yeah, all in all, at one point I started searching around on the internet and also Instagram, which was still new to me. And it was pretty cool because I looked up all kinds of recipes and inspirations. And then I came across the Freely the Banana Girl and Fully Raw Christina. And yeah, I didn't see Freely the Banana Girl directly, but I came across posts that were talking about things like that, and then they always use the hashtag 80-10-10, and I was wondering, what is the 80-10-10 mean? And as soon as I looked it up, I realized, well, it's a kind of a diet. So I read into that, also got the book for it. That's my first book that got me into raw foods. And before that, I also heard of raw food diets and things like that. And yeah, it never really spoke to me, because usually when I saw the recipes, it's like crackers and little portions of something with nuts and seeds. And I always thought, and somebody's getting satiated with that little portion. So I never really got into it. But as soon as I discovered Fully Raw Christina and Freely the Banana Girl, I was so hooked on it, because all of the fruits, and somebody's telling you you can eat however much you like, without gaining weight or being worried. And I have a sweet tooth, so I still love super sweet fruits like dates and everything, and already had it before. So yeah, I think it took me 1 week to read into all of this, and then I made up my mind from one day to another and said, well, that's it. Next week, I'm going to start with Banana Island. And before that, I was not raw or not even raw vegan or vegan completely. I just made up my mind because everything sounded so, yeah, it kind of resonated with me and it felt right for me, especially when I started reading the book. Everything that Douglas Graham explained in the book made total sense to me, with why we gotta keep salt out and why no meat and meat products, yeah, and dairy products and gluten. So yeah, it made sense to me, and I went on a banana island. In the beginning, I totally had no idea about it, so I was not prepared and didn't have enough ripe bananas at hand, but I managed to get things going pretty well. And yeah, I also didn't know that it's good to combine them with greens sometimes. So after half a week or so, I ended up craving really salty stuff and savory stuff, and I started incorporating more veggies and greens again. Also because I started getting muscle cramps, I guess because of too much detox from all of the fruits from one day to another. And yeah, after that, I was so excited to try out all of Christina's recipes and other raw food recipes with lots of fruits and veggies. And I also got to say, I never was really into high fat foods. I never really liked fried foods or putting a lot of oil and things on top of something. I always kept things pretty low in fat, which, as I now know, was still high in fat. But yeah, back then I thought I ate a pretty low fat diet. Yeah, and after that Banana Island week, I started eating raw foods. And yeah, my grandma always used to ask me, so when are you gonna go back to eat normal? I said to her, not yet. I think I will keep on eating like this for the rest of my life because it resonates with me. And she kept on asking me that, and I always told her I won't. But well, never say never. Um yeah, and I think half a year or so into it, quarter of a year into it, I also went to the fruit festival in Denmark. And when I came back, it took me a month or so more, and I started getting a sty in my eye, and then another one. And yeah, they cut out the sty because it didn't go back. Something that I wouldn't do again because it was so horrible. You have to really watch them doing it because you can't close your eyes. Yeah. And after getting it cut out, it got encapsulated, and I got another one, and there was no way I was gonna get another surgery for that sty. So I made up my mind and got prepared and decided to do a water fast for as long as possible. It was in the summer, so in August, and I kept on doing this for, in the end, 20 to 21 days. But I gotta say, I never drank water only because I still can't drink water only. I always have to have something in it, or I prefer fresh squeezed juice. So after 3 days, I started drinking chamomile tea every day. And for the last 3 days, I went back to water again. But all in all, that was, yeah, quite an experience. I would totally do it different from what I know right now. But it helped me a lot with my digestion and also with the encapsulated sty. I mean, after 3 weeks on water fasting, the sty was still there, the encapsulated ones. It was right here. And yeah, it still kind of looked the same. It didn't really change that much. Maybe it went a little bit smaller, but a few weeks into, or a few days into refeeding, it kind of started going away. And that's what I heard. I don't know if you ever saw him, but the Tanglewood Wellness Center in Costa Rica with Lauren Lockman. That's where I got all of my information from back then. And yeah, I started refeeding slowly and only ate small portions bit by bit every few hours. And that is also beneficial to support your body in the healing process. And as we know right now, eating every few hours is essential for the adrenals. Not that water fasting is what I know right now for everyone. Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty successful. And after 1 or 2 weeks, my sty was completely gone. And also my digestion got a lot better until I ate some buckwheat pizza, which was not beneficial. Then things slowed down a little bit again. But after all, I've never had a better digestion than after my water fast. Even right now, it's not as good as it was back then. Yeah. And then I think it was not that long into it until I found a giveaway on Instagram. I don't even know, I don't remember it completely, but I was really hooked on Instagram and looking up all kinds of fruity recipes, trying new things. As you can imagine, after water fasting, you just want to try everything and start eating again. So yeah, I came across Neurotic Mommy, and she hosted a giveaway from the first Medical Medium book. And that's how I got into it. I was one lucky winner back in that year. I think it was 2015 or 16. And I won that copy. And yeah, as soon as I got it, everything kind of made sense to me and explained to me why things weren't completely getting better, even though I already went raw vegan and ate a lot of fruits. And yeah, I found answers to my questions. And yeah, I got started on it as soon as I have read all of the information, and I also listened to the podcasts and everything. And I basically incorporated, I think, the celery juice and the heavy metal detox juice, I called it back then, because I never made the smoothie. I always made the juice. Yeah, that's my own kind of recipe adaptation, because I was really into juicing back then, and I still am. So I usually juiced I think apples with cucumber, and then I don't really know anymore, but I will link you the video, because I once made a video about it. And yeah, I got into that, and after a few months later, I started getting styes again. And not just that, I got one sty after another, even worse than they were before. And yeah, I went to the doctor again because I didn't know what to do anymore. And I also went to see a naturopath. And the naturopath helped me really well and gave me some silver hydrosol, which also kind of helped a little bit, but the styes really stayed quite long and didn't really disappear that fast. Because sometimes when you read into it and you read online articles or stories from other people, they say that, well, don't worry, in 1 or 2 days it's gonna be gone again. but mine were staying like a week and they're still there. So yeah, the doctor then took a look at it and then said, well, you should maybe go to another doctor, because it seems like you also have rosacea. I never really realized it, but I had quite some pimples under my eyes and around my nose. And I've never heard of rosacea before. I didn't even know what it was. And when I looked it up, it just said that, yeah, they don't have a cure for that right now. All you can get is some steroid cream to keep it manageable. And that is something that I totally did not want to do. And I was looking for other answers. And yeah, due to the rosacea and the styes and everything that was coming up and my symptoms getting worse, I kind of got dismotivated to keep on going with the heavy metal detox smoothie juice and yeah, all of that stuff. So I kind of took a break from 2000 and I think end of 2016, beginning of 2017. I slowed things down a little bit and yeah, just kept on eating my fruits and started doing green smoothies to get my rosacea better. And yeah, in the beginning, I gotta say, things went pretty bad, because it's also, if you're in a family and you're eating raw vegan and you're already eating super healthy, and they say you're eating super healthy, how come you're gonna get all of those symptoms? Yeah, back then I didn't know about detox and flares and all of that in detail. So now I know, because I was probably doing too much detox at once. And then all of the things from the past just kept coming up. But yeah, I kept on working with the naturopaths and kind of stepped away from the medical medium stuff a little bit, even though I still ate raw vegan, yeah. And yeah, I started incorporating more green smoothies, as I said, and also kept on juicing my greens, and still most of the day celery juice, but not always. I also took a break from that for a while. And yeah, with the rosacea, it kind of went worse in the beginning, because I looked like a clown with a super red nose and everything red with pimples, and also some kind of acne on the chin. And in the beginning of 2017, there was another symptom coming up. Some evenings when I ate my dinner salad, I was kind of getting an itch over here, but there was never really something to see if I looked into it. But it kept on itching more and more every night, until it started to develop into a rash that went from my whole upper body over my arms and yeah, chest. And also kind of after a week or so, it also started itching on my legs a little bit. And that itch was so terrible. I can now feel everybody that has eczema. I've never had something like this before, or maybe just when I got the chicken pox and the measles, but I don't remember that anymore. But it was itching like hell, and I was looking for answers that solved this pretty quickly. So I tried everything. I also contacted my naturopath again, but yeah, what I did to soothe this was taking an Epsom sea salt bath every night for 2 hours, and to brush out all of the toxins. And after 2 weeks, I finally got rid of that again. So maybe I was lucky, but yeah, the bathing every night sure helped to make it less itchy. But the challenging thing for me was always my skin in the face, because right when you look at people, that's the first thing you see. And going to work and things like that, I've never had a face looking that worse. I think even during my puberty, I didn't have that many pimples. I sure did have some, but I never looked like, yeah, all red and full of pimples. And yeah, another thing I tried back then was going on a grape mono eating kind of cleanse, which made things worse, as you might have guessed, because of it provoking more detox. And yeah, that's when I got started into making more green smoothies, and that pretty much helped me. I think it made my skin a little better, and also all in all made me feel better, because after a certain while I couldn't even eat papayas or pineapples, and sometimes also tomatoes. You know, when a woman's cycle kicks in and the immune system drops, that's when my rosacea really got worse. And when I ate things like papaya and pineapple during that time, it kind of got worse even further. So yeah, I switched to mangoes for a while, but it didn't took that long. I think 1 to 3 months, whether you call it long or not. But yeah, it took me, all in all, with my naturopaths and Schüssler salts and energy sessions, a good year until things started getting better. I would say after 9 months, it was already getting better to a point that my face looked a little bit better. And I went on vacation and ate some more fruits again without breaking out. That was a huge step for me, because I always loved fruit, and I was never really into eating so many green smoothies. I always preferred eating my fruits as they are. Yeah, and I just kept on eating my fruits and green smoothies, and when I came back, a little less green smoothies and more fruits again, but still with dinner salads. And after a year, everything looked pretty much normal again. And I was so happy. I can now feel everyone who's dealing with skin issues and eczema and psoriasis and everything. And it gave me another understanding of that disease issue, whatever you call it. And yeah, I did not really go into all of the supplements that were recommended from medicalmedium. As I said, I took a break, and I did more with energy work and yeah, eating more raw fruits and veggies, staying away from the foods that made me feel more itchy and gave me breakouts. And I did not even eat raw foods back then, because I just couldn't digest them. I felt whenever I ate something cooked, and that was never really much, I just tried some kind of one fork or spoon from my mom's food. And whenever I did that, I kind of felt like I'm dehydrated and my skin gets dry. So I stick to the raw foods as much as I could. Well, yeah, I had to, because nothing else was digestible for me. And I still have my issues with some foods, especially potatoes, which are very starchy and hard to digest. That's what my body still can't handle. And I still feel better on raw foods, even though I now eat some more cooked foods. And yeah, some other issues that I had. Canker sores. When I got better and my face looked better again, I finally got back on all of this stuff, and also listened more into his lives and radio shows again, and catched up on the other books that came out a little bit. And I was happy that I could kind of do more of the heavy metal detox foods again without breaking out. And I also started incorporating oregano oil capsules at some point, because I read somewhere that that is helpful for strep and the rosacea. And that's what I kept eating all the time. And yeah, vitamin C I always took, also before I even read the Medical Medium book, because yeah, that's something that I learned during my raw food class in 2015. And yeah, I had digestive issues as my main source, what made me switch to the raw vegan diet or raw food diet. And they are still lingering, kind of, because I had some no foods back in 2018 and 19. Yeah, mostly cornflakes, because they are so crunchy and addictive, and I just did not want to get rid of them. I always needed something crunchy after my dinner salad. But now I kind of managed to get off of them, because I started doing the liver rescue cleanses from the liver rescue book. And yeah, the steamed sweet potatoes and asparagus and Brussels sprouts kept me so satiated that I didn't really need anything for snacking after my dinner. Other symptoms. Yeah, I got back into celery juice also when I started doing the liver rescue things. And I think 2018 or beginning of 19, I got a new juicer and started doing almost 32 ounces. I think it's 24 to 28 ounces every day. And that really made me feel a difference. Before that, I always used my blender or my other juicer to make the celery juice, and I only made like a cup of it, or yeah, let's say like 416 ounces and 400 milliliters. And I never really felt any difference, even though I made it pretty much every day. And I always thought maybe I'm doing something wrong and I'm eating too early after drinking it, or not having waited long enough after eating, whatever. But juicing a higher amount kind of made me feel a difference a little bit for a while. So I kept it up, and I'm still doing the 28 ounces every day with some other green juices. And yeah, I also started looking more into supplements. Oh yeah, concerning that, another supplement that I always took even before I met Medical Medium was magnesium glycinate. I think it was, I don't even know how I got there, maybe Dr. Morse. But it was super beneficial for my digestion, so that's why I kept on eating it. At some point, I also thought about, well, is that really beneficial if I have to take it all the time and not having a good digestion without it? But well, it just made me feel better. So I wanted to eat it because I didn't want to get constipated and bloated. And I still am taking magnesium glycinate. Still my favorite magnesium. Yeah. And I think due to starting the celery juice again, I also got rid of my canker sores. I got them not every week, but once I got them, they lingered in pretty long, I think 1 to 2 weeks, depending. Luckily, I only got one at a time, but it's pretty hard if you have a canker sore to eat anything. So it's, yeah. And I never really realized that they went away until I started all of this summit stuff. I never really thought about it. But what I also got to say is when I went on vacation last year, and whenever I have something with salt in it, they kind of keep coming back. Not for long, they only stay like a few days. But when I consume something with salt, then it's kind of an immediate reaction. I eat salt and there it is. So that's why I try to stay away from salt. And plus, it makes me super dehydrated. Yeah, what other thing that I had was my naturopath said it's because I eat just too many fruits, orange fruits. It's because I had yellow hands and also kind of a yellow skin in my face. I never realized it. But right now, that is pretty much gone. I never really have yellow hands anymore. And that just went away together with the rosacea. And yeah, in the past, I also had bacterial vaginosis. That was especially before my raw vegan diet. It was never as worse as some other people's have it, but I got it maybe once or twice a year. And at some point, I think I also had it twice, one after another, or 3 times after one after another, but never really as long as some other people's that I've heard talking about it. And yeah, I thought that it's pretty much gone away even, and never really had it again. But last year, when I went on vacation, on my way there to the Caribbean, I had to go to the bathroom in the train, and yeah, that's where I catched up another pretty nasty one, pretty aggressive one. And it was just at the beginning of my vacation, and I was kind of, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? There is no way I'm gonna go to any doctor over here. So yeah, what I did is probably not recommendable for everyone, and it's just me sharing what I did. I used what I had back then, and yeah, I had a lot of essential oils with me, so I also kept some empty capsules with me for whatever. And yeah, that's what I used back then. I used lavender and tea tree oil, and after a week, no more problems. Everything's gone. And that was super good for me because I've never had kind of an experience where things went away on their own with natural things. Mostly, yes. I always tried it, but in the end, I always had to go to the doctor to get some kind of nasty stuff. That's what did the trick for me. Yeah, what I had before, it started back in 2016 when I lost my period or got it not frequently, and went to the doctor about it, and he gave me the pill, of course, and at some point he also figured out I must have a thyroid issue, a low thyroid, so I got on thyroid medication, a very low dosage though, and I was on that for over 10 years until did I say 2016? That was 2006 when I got the thyroid issue. Yeah. So I was on that pretty much 10 years. And when I started the raw vegan diet, I kind of felt like I want to get rid of that stuff. So as soon as I started my water fasting, of course, I stopped taking it. And then after that, I thought, should I really start it again? I mean, before I already tried getting rid of it by taking it just every second day or every third day. And after that, I don't even know if I ever started it again, but since then I'm off of it. And I was always scared to go to the doctor again. I never had symptoms like other people do with the severe fatigue and hair loss and everything. I mean, I lost some hairs, but not to a point where it was super alarming. It was just normal. And I never was really fatigued from it. And yeah, I was afraid to go to the doctor because I think if I would have gotten a blood test, it would have still said that you still need to get on your medication. So it took me 2 to 3 years until I finally went there to get things checked again, not to see if there's a problem with it still, but more of to check if things that I'm doing are okay. And yeah, just to give myself the good feeling that I managed to get out of it. And as we know from Dr. Fan, blood tests are not that accurate, and also from medical medium. And yeah, the blood test showed my ranges in normal, but for me more important was that I also got an ultrasound for it. That's what they always do when they look at it. They take the blood and they do the ultrasound. And before they always said it's getting smaller, and you have a pretty small thyroid. And this time he said, well, you have a pretty small thyroid, but looking at you, you're pretty small and petite, so that seems to be normal. So, well, seems like I totally managed myself out of that. And maybe I'm lucky that I did not have any severe symptoms from the thyroid virus, aka Epstein-Barr. What I still have is the amenorrhea, I think it's called, when you don't get your period. Not that I want it, but yeah, I know that it's not good, but I'm not complaining because I never really wanted it in the first place. But I keep on working on it. And as I mentioned, I never really stick to the protocol 100%. So yeah, that's what's still on the plate, lingering. Yeah, what else do I have? Dry skin is something that I get still, yeah, because of probably the Epstein-Barr. That is also still in my reproductive system. Yeah. And yeah, especially if I mean, I can eat cooked foods now without feeling super dehydrated. But if I drink lemon water, then sometimes I also feel kind of the dry skin. And I talked about it with Casey in my second interview. That is because of the detox as well. And it's also mentioned somewhere in Medical Medium's books. And cold hand and feet is also something that is, yeah, annoying. I don't like cold weather at all. And I only thrive when it's getting really warm and hot outside. When other people start to complain about warm weather, then I say, this is how it should be. So yeah, that's also Epstein-Barr still lingering in my system, giving off its toxins and its waste products. Gotta work on flushing that out. And teeth issues. Yeah. As connected to the digestive system issues that I still have, especially if I eat detoxifying supplements and foods like artichokes, and if I eat raw asparagus, can't do that. And I also started taking grapefruit seed extract. And if I take too much of it, it totally slows down my digestion. I guess it's because there's too much kill off of the strep and EBV. And it's, yeah, I need to lower my intake of that. For now, I stopped it for a little while to boost my digestion, but I also just started taking milk thistle. And in the beginning, I thought, well, yeah, it's I started taking it because I wanted to work on my sluggish liver, which I have. And yeah, I got on the supplements and things that are mentioned in the liver rescue book for sluggish liver, and milk thistle is one of that. It says 1 dropper per day, and it looks so good. It looks like caramel and it tastes super delicious. So I took 3 dropperfuls in the beginning until I realized that stuff really made me bloated. First I thought it's something else, but then I realized, yeah, it's from the milk thistle. Now that I've reduced it to the recommended 1 dropper, everything is a little better. And I take it in the morning, which is better than in the afternoon or evening. And I guess it's because it's, yeah, supporting the liver in its detox and things, which is happening throughout the morning. That's just my theory. Yeah. What else? That's pretty much everything that's on my list, as I recall it. So pretty much what I did to get better was I kept on eating my raw fruits and veggies. And yeah, the no foods kind of slowed my healing down a little bit, but I'm back on track. And that's what also that's what also why I created this summit, because yeah, I kind of got demotivated when I got all of the detox symptoms like rosacea and styes. And everybody kept telling me, you're eating so healthy, how come you get that? Yeah, I could have read more into the medical medium information, but yeah, things went as they went. Now I can't turn back. But I'm back on track and doing my best to work on my symptoms and keep up my healing foods. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing all of the interviews. It is something that I wish I had when I got started, because it's kind of motivating to see other people thriving and to hear what they did to get them better. I mean, for me, you can't learn that you got to take this supplement and that supplement and that's helping, and this food and that food. I always went kind of with my intuition and incorporated my favorite fruits and lots of greens. I even, when I went on a business trip, brought my own blender, my Vitamix, with me, and made my celery juice when I was there and prepared my green smoothie for the day because my rosacea was still bothering me, and eating just fruits kind of made things worse, and I felt better when I had my green smoothies. I even went that far that when I went on my first vacation after a while again, 9 months into it, I even prepared my green smoothie and packed it in my luggage. And I didn't pack it in my hand luggage, I put it in my regular luggage to eat when I arrive. That went pretty well, but as I realized on that vacation, I could also eat more fruits again to, yeah, and still didn't get that much of a symptom like breaking out and things. And that was one of the best moments ever. Yeah. So I hope all of the interviews that I did inspired you to keep on going and to keep up your healing foods and stay away from the no foods. to speed up your healing and yeah, to ease your symptoms. And I also thank all of the participants that I asked to join in, and I was super surprised that they all said yes right from the beginning. I never would have expected it, and I thank them very much. I really appreciated it, and I think the summit went super well. I got a lot of positive feedback from you guys, and yeah, you enjoyed the summit very much, apparently. And yeah, all in all, we have almost 800 people that went into it and started looking the videos. And I even got questions if there will be more in the future. Who knows? Maybe we'll do more. Let's run a poll. I thank you again to all of the participants. I really appreciated that you took your time and shared all of your experiences, knowledge, and yeah, everything that you learned from the books from Medical Medium to help others. And yeah, that you're doing such a great job in helping others. I'm doing the best that I can, and I really enjoyed doing this summit, and it brought me a lot of joy, and it also got me how should I say, I had to overcome my fear, because for me it was and it still is challenging to be interactive with people, or to connect with people. Sometimes I'm good in connecting with people that I know, but connecting with people that I don't know, it's always a slow process for me, and I have a long warm-up phase. So it was super good for me that I had kind of a fear that if I write people to ask them if they want to participate on the summit, they would say no thank you. But yeah, I was super surprised that everybody that I wrote said yes, I'm in, even though they did not know who else was on the summit. That was so surprising to me, and it just showed me that this community is really amazing. So I hope you all enjoyed the summit interviews and got a lot of for your own healing journey out of it, to keep on going. And if you need help, there are lots of practitioners that can help you with things that you're still struggling with. That's it for this summit. I wish you very good healing on your path, and get well soon, whatever you have or don't have. But keep on inspiring and keep on going. And I'll see you around. Maybe we'll do some more interviews or things. I'm open. That's it for today. And talk to you soon and see you on Instagram. Bye. Oh yeah, I totally forgot one thing that I wanted to mention. I think that when we come to Earth, or before we come to Earth, we have already chosen our way. We choose our parents, the land we go to, and the experiences that we want to make. So that we kind of choose what we want to go through, to learn from it and grow from it. And every symptom that we get kind of is also a hint to take a closer look. And I know it's not always easy, because symptoms kind of show us where in our life we need to kind of change something or do something different, because something isn't going all right, so to say. If you have digestive issues like I have, and vision problems, there is something that you don't want to see, or digestive issues. Either you have constipation, like what in your life is it that you don't want to let go? What is it that you can't, let go? And if you have diarrhea, it's what is it that you can't hold on to? Things like that. I think that is also an essential part in our, in our health and how we should kind of take a look at symptoms. I mean, I'm not perfect at it, and I totally don't know the answers to all of that either. But yeah, I also think that, or that medical medium also mentioned in his last life or the previous life that when you do the cleanses from his book, it's also changing kind of the subconscious things to bring you back on track on your path. So that's the good thing about these cleanses. And for me, I've always had a good intuition and know exactly what is good for me and what not. And I always listen to my body whenever it gives me a feedback. Like, for example, when I consumed aloe leaf a few weeks ago, and I did consume it before, but never in a big amount like that. I never got this 4-inch size piece of it in my smoothies. And for a week, I got it into my liver rescue smoothie, my breakfast smoothie. And all of a sudden, I started getting joint pain and aches and everything. And I totally made the relation to the aloe leaf because that's the only thing that was different. And it took me 2 weeks being off of it until my joints got better, the pain went away. And yeah, some things need a little more time before we can incorporate them. And that's why it's so important to listen to your body and see what's good for your body and your situation. I mean, not compare yourself to others and to think that that's recommended and that I need to eat all of that. No, you gotta see if you can really handle it. Yep. Always listen to your intuition.